There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone.
Yo, check this out, man. The only people losing in this day and time is the American Negro. I don't give a fuck about what any other group is doing, because they were put where they were put for a reason. See, a lot of times we feel sympathy because of this whole American thing, and what we don't realize is they have us feeling for our enemies, when it doesn't fucking matter what they're going through, how they feel, because at the end of the day, we've been fucked. Now, I want to deal with what is being said and what is being said. Recently, for the last 5-6 years, this Indian talk has been coming out real tough. And people have been throwing it every which way. You know, oh, Indians disrespectful. They're Native Americans. You're ashamed of being black. Yada, 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 yada. All right. Pan-African knowledge is that the Jews could not possibly have built any pyramids in Egypt, seeing how they stopped building them in the 3rd and 4th dynasty. Keep that in mind, because what they're saying is they stopped building them. They don't make them anymore. Everybody on Earth, nobody makes pyramids anymore, but we're supposed to credit Africa for pyramid building. Now check this out. Let's go here real quick first. No, where is it at? Oh, wait a minute. It was above. Or was it? Okay. So pyramids in Africa or Egypt, built by granite and sandstone. Nubian pyramids were built between 2,700 and 2,300 years ago. It has decorated elements of the cultures of Pharaohic Egypt, Greece, and Rome. All right. 27 to 2,300 years ago. Pyramids in America first appeared 5,000 years ago. Nearly 2,000 different pyramids. Now, in Egypt, there are 118 different pyramids. You can look all this up. The Egyptian pyramids are ancient masonry structures located in Egypt. Sources cite at least 118 identified Egyptian pyramids. We just said that. Approximately 80 pyramids were built within the Kingdom of Kush, now located in the modern country of Sudan. All right. So altogether, that's 198 pyramids. I was going to say 200. Okay, cool. Let's keep reading about these Western Hemisphere pyramids. Where does it say it? And it's like they're telling us that altogether, Egypt has 4,500 years. I just told you we had 5,000. For some reason, they only have under 200 pyramids. We have 2,000 pyramids. Now, this is where the information gets funny. They're saying that the Mesoamerican people built pyramids around 1000 BC up until the time of the Spanish conquest, in the early 1600s. Now, here's the problem. You want me to believe in an out of Africa theory? It's a theory. That's check one. Check two is it's being dated that the pyramids in America are older than the ones in Egypt. Okay. Then here's the final nail in the coffin. And I'm going to recite something that Pan-Africans love to say when it comes to the Jews. They say it's funny how the Jew built pyramids in Egypt, but none where he's from. Why would a man build his greatest masterpieces in another person's land? So my question is this. If people want to say that the Indians are Africans and Africans were the first ones over here, why would the African build his greatest monuments on a land that wasn't his? And why would there be more over here? Remember, the Egyptians forget how to make pyramids in the Third and Fourth Dynasty. Stop making them. The Americans making pyramids all the way to the 1600s. They're saying it only stopped when the conquistadors came by. So is it starting to make sense why all the pyramids over here have Spaniard names? If they're the ones who sicked the wild beasts on the Aztecs, that's why you know the Mexican is not really an Aztec. It's a hybrid. It's a fake. It's somebody they threw in there to take over this shit, because the original people of Mexico were dark people. They were dark brown. Dark brown. So why would Tachichinlan become Mexico City? They don't even rhyme. They don't even match. Doesn't make any sense. How did these people end up having all this information? And then look at them today. Excuse me. Remember, it's the Negro American that's behind enemy lines, still makes jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, all this different stuff. Still outdoes the slave master in their own craft, which is baseball, football, basketball. $50,000 patents. See, I'm showing you who the real pyramid builders are. I'm showing you through facts, through what you see. They claim the only people that outdid the Negro American in the golden era of America was the European and the Germans. How funny. How funny. The dude who can't get his, well, I'm not going to say his children straight, but the dude who can't differentiate between men and women. The one who beats the Bible into somebody, but then tells his faggotry is okay. The one who's having an epidemic right now of homelessness all in his cities. The most homeless people in America right now, besides the immigrant, and that's made from the Democrats to buffer the truth, but the biggest homeless person is European. And this is not about racism. This is about facts. So I think it's funny how the one who's the most chaotic, proving that they're chaotic, you would not believe lied to you about history. But we're finding all this stuff out about the American Negro and the Indian. And what I'm saying to people is this. I find it funny that the African gets taken from its language, but at the same time, they know all these gods. They have Mshun, Ngoon, all this different stuff. For some reason, these Caribbeans, they know exactly their language, but they're speaking French or they're speaking Spanish. How colorful. With no tie. Claiming no tie to pidgin language, even though pidgin language is constructed of several different languages. That's why it's stupid to argue with, well, why do you American Indians speak English? English is a whole new language. Nobody speaks their original tongue. Nobody. Do you see white people speaking Gaelic? I think that's what they call it, Gaelic. Do you see them talking that? Do you see any of these Middle Easterns speaking Aramaic? No. Do you see Spanish people speaking Latin? No. Shit, even the fake Jew is speaking a Germanic version of the Hebrew. It's not even real Hebrew. It's not Paleo Hebrew. So how are you mad at me for speaking a language that you're also speaking? But I have actual credit. I actually have Swanto. I can show how these two from two different worlds were able to co-inspire and conversate. You can't show me that, but for some reason you're telling me that the European, just ran into Africa and just took a bunch of Africans, but we're finding out they was doing business. So why don't you know the language that the European knew to speak to the African to do business in the first place? See, this is the pan-African problem. They're not looking where they're supposed to be looking. They're emotional. They're out here emotional, talking about this what happened, courtesy to the bourgeoisie, the boule, and their pan-African scholars. They're lost. But I'm showing you right now with the white boys, I'm showing it to you. It's literally saying, period, old kingdom of ancient Egypt. So any celestial alignment they have with the night would have to match what the heavens looked like 4,500 years ago. Okay, check this out though. How is the earth spinning and these things keep perfectly aligning every night? They can line up with, see, they were talking about they seen it 2,500 years and woo-de-woo. Okay, well, how would you have a picture of it? How would you have a picture of the Egyptian pyramids lined up perfectly with Orion's belt if it takes 2,500 years? The camera hasn't been out 2,500 years. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? So how'd you get that picture? Maybe the earth is flat. Maybe all that stuff is a lie to keep you running around in circles. Oh, Lord, and around they go. All you motherfuckers caught in the loop. But I'm the crazy one. Oh, no, you're on Wikipedia. You're on Google. Wait a minute. It's from the History Channel, pimp. From the History Channel. All right, let's keep going. They talking about ours is 1000 BC. Theirs is in the 27th century BC. Okay, but hold up. Where's it at? How old are the African pyramids? Built of granite and sandstone, Nubian pyramids were built 27 to 2300 years ago. Now look, they've even gave it to the Nubian. They checkmating y'all like a motherfucker. They're not even denying it anymore. They're not saying that Egyptians aren't Africans. They're saying the Nubians are the first ones to build the pyramids. But that's 2,700 years ago. I give it that. Okay. Pyramids in America first appeared 5,000 years ago. Now I know what people are saying. 5,000 years. That's not the same. Yes, it is. It's about right because that's what people say. Egypt ruled about 5,000 years ago. So back to my point. Why are there more pyramids over here when supposedly y'all made them? And why the fuck did y'all only get to 200? Better yet, you didn't even get to that. You got to like 198. Some shit like that. 190, 195, something like that. Meanwhile, there's 2,000 over here. Then people will talk about, because my friend brought it up. He's like, what about the, he said Greek, Rome, or Europe pyramids? He said something like that. And I was like, shit, don't forget the Asian ones too. But for some reason, you motherfuckers are here first. You're the first ones doing it. You never linked up over here. But for some fucking reason over here, there's more pyramids than everywhere on Earth. the Portuguese is calling the Brazilian a negro. When you hit the shores up north, they're saying Negroes for sale. Why are the white dudes speaking Spanish? Make it make sense. These motherfuckers con the shit out of us, and now it just looks stupid the more that you get into it, because you're like, well, wait a minute. That's why the Moors keep trying to claim the Indian lineage, because they bringing it across the this red flag thing, and we were all down. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't you the motherfucking Shriner? Ain't you the one with the fez on? Oh, this is our land. We just don't forget. So you mean to tell me you've been doing business with this motherfucker? Because some of y'all ain't asleep, and you got these little cards that y'all can walk around with, and y'all get discounts at Home Depot and all this bullshit. In his government, claiming that, oh no, I'm sovereign. Who the fuck do you want to recognize it? Make it make sense. Who do you want to recognize your sovereignty? The niggas in the ghetto, or the police pulling you over, or the judge in your face? What are you talking about? You got to make sense. These motherfuckers work together. That's why the Shriner has the fez on. See, I don't believe that the celebrity and the TD Jakes and all the motherfuckers do not clean up the ghetto for no reason. I know why they don't, because that's their meal ticket. As long as the people are dumb and poor, they can make all the money off them, all the fake dreams and shit. Because somebody brought up some shit, talking about time's not real, and it's 24 hours in a day, and 2 + 4 makes 6, and then he said 60 minutes in a second, and some shit where it was another 6, and it was supposed to be 666, and he's like, oh yeah, y'all work for the devil and don't even know it. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you Pan-Africans said that shit was protons, neutrons, and electrons. I thought you conscious motherfuckers told us that they were hiding you within his devil. It's you. See, not only am I checkmating and beating the shit out these motherfuckers, I'm doing it with grace, though. I am. Because I could really be yelling and mad as hell right now. But nah, I'm good. I just want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all that the Indian been live and well for a while. Been live and well for a while. Ain't been worried about you jokers. Ain't been worried about these jokers at all. So, we can wrap this video up. This video's done. I killed these bastards. How did you guys invent the pyramids? But we have more over here. How are you 27 to 2300 years ago, and we're 5,000 years ago? The motherfuckers like, oh, they talk about BC and 27. No, fuck all that. Just let the white dude snitch on himself. He even claimed they were Nubian pyramids. So now he's not even giving it to Egypt. You know, the place that he claimed he was. In all the fucking movies and shit, putting on dye and talking, I'm Egyptian. Or putting on dye, I'm an Indian. Or putting on fucking dye, I'm the ancient Chinese. He was known to fucking front. White dude's been known to front. He want to be all that. But guess what? So does everybody else. So does the Hindu. So does the Asian. So does the Arabian. They all claim that they Egyptian. Motherfuckers be mixing science and shit. Which they're known to do, because Hinduism and Buddhism are neck and neck. They're right next to each other. So it seems like the East is known to mix shit up and tell lies. And it's funny how they got Ra, and they supposed to be God, but we the only one with a sun temple. Ain't that a bitch? Egyptians supposedly created Ra and all this different stuff, but we the one with the sun temple. Then you ever heard of cocaine mummies? Then you see the video I had about the Grand Canyon. Why do they keep referring to stuff in America back to Egypt? Like it's in Egypt. No, it's America. And they be like, I do believe America is the old Egypt. No. Egypt is Egypt. Let them have that. What we are is the land that they lied about. They hid and they couldn't talk about. And that's why Hindus became Indians. All this shit happened during the 33rd president's term, Harry S. Truman. You see all the signs right there. 33,000 emails. You notice all the weird shit going around the Democrats? Harry S. Truman was a Democrat too. Is it the Truman Show, guys? Is it really a fake backboard to the ocean sky? Is it really cameras in the sky? I don't know. But I do know this. The more that we express the Indian conversation, the indigenous conversation, the originals, the aboriginals, the aboriginals. See, I like forest green because I like being in the woods. I'm a woodland Indian. Make it make sense. And going to argue with them and their DNA. Going ahead. And their historian books. Going ahead. But know this much. You've been exposed. Even if you want to claim dates, you don't make any sense. Why would a Jew build his greatest invention in another man's land? Why would the African have no contact with America at all, and America would have more pyramids than Africa itself? Is it that you guys met us, or did we meet you? The whole best tongue, the Olmec calendar, who had what first? And why did you try to connect it to the Dogon? Because it was older than you? How could the Mayans know that information? That information 1,000 years older. Yeah, like the Olmec. Oh, nah, they from West Africa. You got an Olmec head donated to Ethiopia in the 80s from Mexico. There is no fucking, no, stop. Goes.